let me begin with you, the only lady on the panel. The fact that there are so many accusations against the Congress-led government in Karnataka. How is Congress deciding to fulfill this kind of a backlog and this huge amount that it is, in fact, going to be costing the state exchequer if you look at all the 5 guarantees, of course, talking about this particular scheme, the Gro Jyoti, the Grey Lakshmi scheme?
Good evening, Reha. I think the BJP is taking their job as the opposition so seriously that none of their leaders, including the Prime Minister, will comment on what is happening in Haryana or Manipur or in trains of this country, but have enough gumption to sit and talk about what is happening in my state. If I may be uninterrupted when I complete this, I will tell you 2 very important things. The entire world, or rather the country and the economists and the BJP, applauded when 1 lakh crores was waved away for some of the largest corporate industrialists under the guise of saying there will be a trickle down and you will restart the economy, which was a huge fallacy and it helped nobody and no money went down anywhere. They looked to pay off their liabilities and that is the only thing that happened. When the Karnataka Congress formulated this plan, and I can give you the intention behind each one of these 5 plans, it was to basically help the poor, the middle class, and the struggling communities, whether it was with unemployment, whether it was price rise, whether it was inflation. Because as my Chief Minister rightly stated in his budget speech, the fact is the poorest of the poor still account for 60 to 65% of actually paying taxes in the form of when they consume commodities, and we wanted to ease this for them. What has happened today, and the BJP can say all that they have to, is the entire budget size is more than 3 lakh crores is the budget size of Karnataka. Your 44,000 crores in terms of the guarantees are only seeing basic tiny hiccups in the beginning because of the fact of the fiscal imprudence of the past BJP government. Mohan Vishwa will come tell you about the ROI and the entire MOUs and all of that. But the state exchequer will tell you exactly how otherwise...
You already preempted what Mohan Vishwa is going to speak about.
Reha, because he's a chartered accountant, he will tell you the numbers that are preferable for him. But the fact is this: it should not inch opposition parties that proclaim to stand for the poor when these welfare schemes are targeting the poor. For example, the Shakti Yojana, the amount of criticism, but the positive externality of the transport departments finally making a profit and tourism department seeing a positive plus is something that we had seen. All these other schemes will not only increase spending, but this will basically help the poorest of the poor fight the inflationary forces that the center has done absolutely nothing about. If you do not believe me, come try to buy tomatoes in my state anywhere today and you will realize the reality.
Okay. Mohan Vishwa, since Aishwarya Mahadev already has told us what you're going to speak about, is that any different?
See, Griha, this is the problem with the Congress. What they do is they say that, if they give the money, people are going to spend the money in the economy, the money will come back and the economy will grow. This is the poorest theory which the world was not able to succeed in the past in many other countries. Forget about Karnataka, forget about India. To give an example, take an example of United States of America during COVID, where they transferred $5,000 to each and every household over there. Even then, the American economy was not able to recoup. Even today, Indian economy has grown faster than any other economy in the world. As far as the unemployment rate is concerned, let me tell you, Karnataka has the lowest unemployment rate. And the Karnataka has the 3rd state in India which has the highest number of GSDP. And Karnataka's GST collections has doubled from past 3.5 years during our tenure. Money is over there. So the problem is Mr. Siddaramaiah, who is known or who calls himself as a finance minister who presented the budget for 14 times, is unable to manage, or is he not having any plan when they announced these kind of guarantees during their manifesto or during election campaign? What did he say? Within 24 hours of coming into power, they're going to, implement all those guarantee A, B, C, D, E, all those stuff. But today they're suffering like this. And let me tell you, my friend Aishwarya Mahadev said, she spoke about tomatoes. What about the power price rise made by state government in the state? Why she's not talking about that? Why, she's not talking about the excise duty, which is increased on the liquor in the state? Why she's not talking about the valuation of property, which is increased in the state for the sake of, increase in stamp and registration fees? Why she's not talking about the royalty, which is increased on the sand and the stone, which is used for the construction in the state? These kind of costs have also increased. for your information, from today onwards, the basic necessity of a poor, the milk per liter has been increased by 3 rupees. What she's telling now, she's speaking only about tomatoes. I can give you 100 of other stuff where Congress have increased when they're pooling the money by increasing the other taxes and other prices. Where are those money going to? Even after increasing those taxes, if the Congress is not able to fulfill the promises which they have given, means there is something seriously wrong as far as finance department is concerned. These kind of statements shouldn't be given. And also they say they don't have money for the development. And you said, as you rightly said, it's not only DK Shivakumar. During the day of presenting the budget by Siddaramaiah himself, we have an information that he himself briefed all the MLAs that, this year there will not be fund allocated to the respective constituency for the development. He himself have told way back. It's not new that Siddaramaiah has told.
Okay.
And today,
so I'll let Aishwarya
respond.
I'll let Aishwarya respond on the DK Shivakumar's statement, but let me first bring in Professor Arun Kumar on this. Professor Arun Kumar, how bankable is this tomato theory that the member of the Congress party is, the Congress spokesperson is talking about as far as the state of Karnataka is concerned? Because here the concern is not what the BJP is claiming, is the state's finance department who has in fact warned the state government of implementing the Griha Lakshmi scheme. They, in fact, talk about all the schemes on how this is going to be costing the exchequer over 45,000 crore rupees annually. So how do you see these promises that have been made to the people of Karnataka by the now government of Siddaramaiah in the state? Professor Arun.
I think we need to break down the expenditures. Some are public services that are essential. For instance, education, health, etc., very essential. Transportation, energy, etc., essential. For any civilized existence, these things are required.
Yeah.
Second is that when there is destitution, when people are very poor, then you need to actually see that they are able to survive. So therefore, given that, after the pandemic, the unorganized sector declined and has continued to decline, their incomes have gone down, unemployment there has gone up, and therefore they need support. And that's why I think unemployment support is required. And for women-headed families, support is required. So that's the second kind.
Okay.
Third kind of which are not necessarily essential, that is where the government should not have gone in, because that actually poses a burden which actually the government may not be able to fulfill. However, I would like to say that it's all a question of prioritization of the government. Whatever tax revenue and non-tax revenue you collect, it comes into one common fund. Out of that, you can spend on different schemes depending on your political requirement, depending on what your political priorities are. So prioritization by the government is what is critical. Now, if the government is trying to fulfill the needs of the people, now it depends differently on different parties, how they would like to fulfill. And all over the country now it's happening. Why? Because people don't believe in the politicians. Politicians, the faith is gone because the parties come, they promise all kinds of tall promises and then they don't deliver. That's why now the public is demanding immediately, what are you going to give me? So therefore, all political parties in their manifestos are promising all kinds of things, which is what the Prime Minister has called reveries, but I would like to call them as, things that, may be required, may not be required. But, it's an incentive to the poor. And therefore, the question is that how does it impact the economy and the budget? Now, the